I'm Nick, and I'll be your, well, let's call it guide for the weekend. Welcome to a truly magical place. Let's start with this. Risk is the potential to lose something of value, weighted against the potential to gain something of value. Each of us has something to risk this weekend. It may be that big patch trade, or it could be ceremony evaluations. The good news is, you're here. You made it. You took the first step, and you're ready for the challenge. We are uniquely bound in the brotherhood of cheerful service. So I ask you to ponder this. There were great risks taken in starting the Order of the Arrow. If you don't know who this is, it's Dr. E. Erner Goodman, the founder of the Order of the Arrow. His creative vision for founding an organization whose sole purpose is to serve others single-handedly changed the face of scouting. But he wasn't the first. Many have come before us who have taken great risks, from our nation's founding fathers to the ancient Moundvillians who once lived and thrived on the very grounds you sit tonight. We're not anywhere near done with this, but we must get on with business. Please help me in welcoming your section chief, Nathan Moore.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. Just making sure, because I wasn't quite sure if the mic was working. So, how y'all doing tonight? I need to take a roll real quick. So, to help me out with this, get this done as fast as we can, just on 3, I want you to shout your lodge name, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. So I got, Eric Home. Okay, let's try it again. Let's do it differently this time. All right, who do we have from Alabama? Alabama's here. How about our service lodge, Eric Home? Back there. What about Chattahoochee? Coosa? Etchicani? Back in the back. Egwa? Inato? That's how you made it, guys. Mwogo? How about the trees, Pithlaco? Withlacoochee? And our 2015 service lodge, Waguli. That's everyone, right? Got you all? Yeah, I got Coosa. Thank you, though. So I want to thank you all for coming out here this weekend. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be beautiful. We've had Eric Home out here for the past couple of days setting everything up. We've got shows coming out here, putting together all this beautiful murals and everything. It's going to be fantastic. We've been putting a lot of work into this, and so I hope you won't be disappointed. Now, we do have 2 very special guests here with us this weekend that I'd like to introduce you to really quickly. One of them, he's a good friend of mine. He's a bit shy, though, so he's not going to come up on stage. He's not going to introduce himself. His name is Axe Hatchet, but he likes to go by Mr. Axe. So he's around here this weekend. If you just, as you're going about meeting new people, just see if you can find him. If you find him first, you might get something nice. So go on the lookout for Mr. Axe. And our other guest is a gentleman who is an Eagle Scout and a former airwoman of Egwatawa D. He is the director of the Moundville Archaeological Park, and he's the interim director of Alabama Museum of Natural History. His name is Dr. Bill Bomar. Please, everyone, give a round of applause.
Welcome to Moundville. It really is thrilling for our staff to have you here. Of all the groups that come visit Moundville, for nearly 100 years, the Order of the Arrow has been paying homage to the rich culture of Native Americans, and what better place to do that than one of the nation's most significant Native American heritage sites, Moundville. 800 years ago, this was the site of America's largest city north of Mexico. You see, before the tribes that we're familiar with, before the Cherokee, the Creek, the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, before they formed, Native Americans lived in chiefdoms. and one of the greatest, most powerful chiefdoms in the land was right here in the Black Warrior River Valley. Moundville was the capital of a chiefdom that stretched from what's now Tuscaloosa, 70 miles down the Black Warrior River to where the river met the Tombigbee. There were about 10,000 people in the chiefdom under the control of the great Moundville chief who ruled from atop the largest mound here. There were about 3,000 people here at the capital town. They had a rich culture. They left behind these incredible monuments, the mounds that you see here. I hope you have time to explore the site, go through our museum, and learn about the great heritage of these people. For example, some of the things you might learn, like right here behind me, there's a smaller mound over on this side, and a larger mound with steps going to the top over on this side. You see, we now know from over 100 years of research that the mounds were built as platforms for buildings. You see, these are the ruins of an ancient city. The smaller mounds around the perimeter had temples or religious buildings on them. The larger mounds, like the one over here, had clan chief houses on them. So kind of like your lodges, the site was divided into, we believe, 11 clans because there were 11 pairs of mounds around the perimeter of the site. That's just one example of the many things you can learn about Moundville by going through our museum. You might also learn that by around 1400, Moundville almost became abandoned, but the burials here, archaeologists have discovered, continued by the thousand. So after the people left, this became a city of the dead, a necropolis, a place where the Native Americans brought their dead to be buried. The hand and eye, Moundville's most common symbol that you'll see on a lot of artifacts here, from the stories passed down by Indians, is believed to have been seen by the Indians as a constellation in the sky. And in fact, as I was waiting to come on stage, I just couldn't help but notice, if you look right behind you, it's in the sky. What we know as Orion, the great constellation, with the 3 bright stars or the belt. The Native Americans of the southeastern what's now the United States, saw that the belt of Orion as the wrist of a hand. I hadn't planned to mention that, but it's just right there. I had to point that out to you. So please, take note of where you are. Take note of this place as being one of the nation's premier Native American heritage sites, and how appropriate for the Order of the Arrow to be here. So have a great weekend.